It's been a little while since I've done one of these videos, but I've previously done what if 11s for Jamaica, Congo, Nigeria, Algeria and Turkey. For those of you who haven't watched any of those previous videos, the format is pretty simple. I take a national team, Ghana in this case, and take a look at the best players who either do represent the country or could have represented the country. So that includes any player who does or would have met FIFA's eligibility criteria before being capped by another national team at competitive level. From Abedi Pele to Michael Essien, Ghana have produced some excellent footballers over the years, and in 2010, the country joined Cameroon in 1990 and Senegal in 2002 as the only African nations to reach the quarter-finals of the World Cup. Now in 2020, Ghana have slipped to 47th place in the FIFA World Rankings, having failed to qualify for the 2018 World Cup in Russia. But that could all be very different if every player eligible to represent the country had chosen to do so. Here is my what if Ghana 11 if all eligible players had declared for them. Goalkeeper: Adam Larson Kouarasi. Ghana hasn't historically given birth to a raft of brilliant goalkeepers, and it's fair to say the number 1 shirt isn't the strongest position in this 11. As far as I'm aware, there are no excellent Ghanaian eligible goalkeepers who chose to represent other nations, so between the sticks, it was a choice between Adam Larson Kouarasi and Richard Ofori. My choice is Kouarasi, who was born in Oslo and previously represented Norway under 21 level. He received a Ghanaian passport in 2010 and he made his senior international debut in 2011. Kouarasi's father is from Ghana, whilst his mother is from Norway, and the 32-year-old Vålerenga goalkeeper has since won 24 caps for the nation he qualifies to play for through his dad. Right back: Benjamin Hendricks. Another player of mixed European and African descent, you can probably tell from his surname that in Benjamin Hendricks' case, it is his father who is from Germany, whilst his mother is Ghanaian. A versatile young footballer who plays primarily as a right back, Hendricks came through the youth ranks in Germany with Bayer Leverkusen. Following more than 60 league appearances in the Leverkusen first team, Hendricks joined Monaco for more than £17 million in the summer of 2018. The 22-year-old idolised Michael Essien as a child and no doubt had a tough time picking which nation he would most like to represent. He represented Germany at both under 19 and under 21 level though, and when he was first called up by Joachim Löw in 2016, it would have been difficult for any teenager to turn down the world champions. Hendricks has won 3 caps for Germany, but none since 2017. Centre-back: Jerome Boateng. The outstanding centre-back in this side, Jerome Boateng was pivotal to Germany's 2014 World Cup win that I just alluded to, and for at least 1, and arguably up to 3 years, he was the best centre-back in the world. This 11 is based on current ability, and Boateng's stock has no doubt fallen over the last few years. He was dropped from the Germany squad by Joachim Löw in March 2019, and is currently being linked with a move to Arsenal, but he's still a nailed-on starter in this 11. At his best, Boateng was a strong, robust and athletic centre-back who was formidable defensively and comfortable on the ball. He has won 76 caps for Germany in total, and whilst he would have won more had he elected to represent Ghana, he most likely would not have won a World Cup. Centre-back: Qasim Adams. Qasim Adams Nuhu, sometimes referred to as Qasim Adams or just Qasim Nuhu, and most commonly simply Qasim, is another Bundesliga centre-back, although slightly less of a household name in comparison to Boateng. Qasim was born in Kumasi, the second largest city in Ghana, and he only arrived in Europe with Leganes in 2014. He has since turned out for the likes of Young Boys and Mallorca, but is currently on loan at Bundesliga strugglers Fortuna Düsseldorf. Qasim is a big, robust centre-back, but also a decent passer of the ball, and he has won 8 caps for Ghana since making his international debut back in 2017. Left back: Kwadwo Asamoah. The best player in this 11 who actually does represent Ghana, Kwadwo Asamoah has been flying the flag for the Black Stars in the Italian game for more than a decade. The 31-year-old joined Udinese in 2008, where he made 134 appearances before being snapped up by Juventus. Following 6 seasons in Turin, in which he won 6 Serie A titles, Asamoah joined title rivals Inter Milan in the summer of 2018. A 2-time Ghana Player of the Year, Asamoah is an exceptionally versatile footballer, capable of playing anywhere up or down the left flank, as well as in central midfield. Given the strength in which we have in the forward areas in this 11, it makes sense to put him at left back, which is the position which he has predominantly played for the last few years. A real team player and a final rounder, Asamoah has won 76 caps for Ghana, and he was among the first names on this team sheet. Defensive midfield, Thomas Partey. An unglamorous footballer who probably doesn't quite get the recognition that he deserves, Diego Simeone sure appreciates the less eye-catching talents of Thomas Partey. Born in a small town around 45 miles north of Accra, Partey was spotted by one of Atletico Madrid's talent scouts at the age of just 18. He spent a season in Atletico's youth ranks before honing his skills on loan in Mallorca and Almeria, but he has been very much a part of Diego Simeone's first team plans since 2015. Equally capable of playing as either a tough tackling defensive midfielder or as an energetic box-to-box player, Partey has superb stamina, he keeps things simple in possession, and he has a cannon of a right foot when the opportunity presents itself. He is fairly prolific at international level, having scored 10 goals from 27 caps for Ghana, and he has made more than 160 appearances for Atletico Madrid. Central midfield, Kevin Prince Boateng. Jerome Boateng has already featured in this 11, but whilst the Bayern Munich man chose to represent the nation of his mother and of their birth, Kevin Prince Boateng opted to represent Ghana, the nation of their father. Prince Boateng represented Germany frequently at under 19, under 20 and under 21 level, but he told the German FA that he was no longer interested in representing Germany in June 2009. 12 months later, he won his first cap for Ghana, just in time for the 2010 World Cup. Boateng starred in Ghana's impressive run in South Africa, and along with Jerome, they became the first brothers to face each other in opposing teams at a World Cup. He retired from international football citing travel fatigue in 2011 at the age of only 24, and only briefly came out of international retirement for the 2014 World Cup, meaning Boateng only ever won 15 caps for Ghana. At club level, he has starred for everyone from Portsmouth to AC Milan, and even had a brief spell on loan at Barcelona last season. Now contracted to Fiorentina, Boateng is a strong and explosive flair player who has scored some magnificent goals over the years. He can play in central and attacking midfield or as a centre forward, but once again, the strength we have in forward areas means a deeper role makes the most sense. Right wing, Calum Hudson-Odoi. There are a couple of outstanding young wide players who could have represented Ghana but chose not to, and in the case of Calum Hudson-Odoi, that's pretty understandable. The 19-year-old Chelsea wonderkid was born and raised in London, and he represented England at every single youth level, racking up 35 international youth appearances in total. Hudson-Odoi is now a full England international, having been capped 3 times by Gareth Southgate, but there is stiff competition for places in England's forward line. Hudson-Odoi's development has been hampered by a serious injury to his Achilles last season, and although he has now returned to first-team action, he still looks like he needs a little time to fully find his feet again. Fast, tall, and a real box of tricks, Hudson-Odoi can play on either flank, and I've long said on this channel that his potential is frightening. Bayern Munich don't go throwing £35 million bids around without serious consideration, especially not for teenagers, and Hudson-Odoi could have a huge decade ahead of him. Attacking midfield, Memphis Depay. We're playing a sort of 4-1-1-3-1 in this makeshift what-if Ghana 11, and the 3 in behind our centre forward are all capable of interchanging positions and bamboozling the opposition. Memphis Depay can play on the left flank, in a free role, or as a centre forward, and it's in that free role behind the centre forward that he starts here. An inventive and explosive forward with quick feet and a sharp eye for goal, Depay made waves early in his career with PSV before a much anticipated move to Manchester United. Like most players in recent years, Depay struggled to get going at Old Trafford, but he has since returned to form with Lyon, where he has made a sensational start to this season. Depay was born in the Netherlands to a Ghanaian father and a Dutch mother, and he has been representing the Netherlands since he was only 14. His senior debut came in 2013, and he has since scored 19 goals from 51 caps, with there being a real possibility that he could one day become their most capped player of all time. Left wing, Inaki Williams. The presence of Calum Hudson-Odoi and Inaki Williams means that one of the best players available to me in this squad doesn't even make the starting 11, but there will be a quick substitutes bench at the end of this video. Williams was born in Bilbao to Ghanaian parents who crossed the desert on foot and jumped the Bolivian border fence en route to a new life in Spain. Williams was signed up by Athletic Bilbao as a youngster, and he started for both the club's farm team and reserve team before stepping up to the first team. Since his first team debut in 2014, the 25-year-old has scored more than 50 goals in 220 appearances for his boyhood club. Williams made 17 appearances for Spain at under-21 level, but has won just one senior cap in 2016, as well as representing the unofficial Basque national team once. A quick and direct wide man who still has room to improve, Williams was excellent last season, and he starts on the left flank. Centre forward, Mario Balotelli. I was tempted to play Memphis Depay as a centre forward and squeeze another excellent wide player into this 11 due to the unpredictability of Mario Balotelli, but I just couldn't leave the Italian out. Born Mario Barwua, the son of Ghanaian immigrants to Italy, young Mario was put in foster care at the age of 3. He was adopted by Silvia, the Jewish daughter of Holocaust survivors, and Francesco Balotelli, who lived in Brescia in northern Italy. Balotelli didn't gain Italian citizenship up until turning 18, and once received, he stated, "I am Italian. I feel Italian. I will forever play with the Italian national team." Balotelli stayed true to his word, racking up 16 appearances for Italy's under-21s before making his senior debut 2 days before his 20th birthday. Balotelli was a teenage sensation at Inter Milan, but controversy was never far behind. Nothing has really changed a decade on, with Balotelli having experienced many highs and lows as his career has taken him from one Milan giant to another, along with stints at Man City, Liverpool, Nice and Marseille. In the summer just gone, Balotelli returned to his hometown following Brescia's promotion from Serie B, where things have once again been eventful. Balotelli was twice subjected to vile racist abuse from supporters of Verona and Lazio, with sections of his own support labelling him arrogant after he threatened to leave the pitch against Verona. Following 4 years away, Balotelli returned to international duty in 2018, and he has scored 14 goals from 36 caps for Italy in total. The 29-year-old has 5 from 13 since returning to Brescia, and I think he's still worthy of a place in this 11. That's it for the starting 11, but I did promise you a substitutes bench as well. As backup to our number 1 Adam Larsson Kouarasi, the obvious choice is Richard Ofori. He is joined on the bench by Lyon and the Netherlands fullback Kenny Tete. Leicester City's jack of all trades Daniel Amati offers cover in both defence and in midfield. Meanwhile, senior Ghana international and Sassuolo midfielder Alfred Duncan also takes up a place on the bench. Once again, the fiercest competition comes in the forward and wide areas, but there's no way I can overlook Crystal Palace star Jeffrey Schlupp, who can offer cover anywhere down the left flank. Bayern Munich wonderkid and Canada's great footballing hope Alphonso Davies is arguably the finest eligible player not to make my 11, so he unquestionably has to make the bench, joined finally by Watford and England striker Danny Welbeck. That is my what if Ghana 11. I think it's a pretty strong one, maybe not quite world champions elect, but certainly a dominant side in the African Cup of Nations, and they'd give most of FIFA's top 20 a game. I've left out the likes of Denis Addai, Asamoah and Eddie Nketiah from this 11, which is some indication of the talent on offer, and if I had to pick a Ghanaian manager to boot, I'd probably have to go with Seles Tete, who currently manages the Sierra Leone national team. That's it for today's video. Thank you for watching. Feel free to give the video a like if you enjoyed it, in fact please do, and make sure you're subscribed to HITC Sevens, and head over to www.englandsgreatestdefender.com to have your mind blown by the best football book ever written.